Are you willing to take any responsibility for the assassination of Charlie Kirk? I'll take that as a no. Mr. Fair, the SPLC labeled Charlie Kirk and his organization dangerous extremists in its Hatewatch newsletter, and Charlie Kirk was assassinated the very next day. Do you regret signing off on that newsletter?
Congressman Onder, what I regret is the political violence in this country on any side of the aisle.
Do you regret naming Turning Point USA a hate group several months earlier?
What I regret, again, is the political violence in this country. And
how about the designation of the Family Research Council as a hate group? The gunman told the FBI he was inspired by the SPLC's list. Does SPLC accept any responsibility for that violent 2012 attack on the Family Research Council?
Congressman Onder, again, political violence in this country is despicable. We oppose unequivocally all political violence, and we're not responsible.
Has the SPLC ever apologized to Leo Johnson, the building manager, who was previously wounded in the terrorist attack on FRC, the same attack that the gunman said he was inspired by your hate list?
Congressman Onder,
you decry political violence. You incite it, but you decry it.
we don't incite political violence.
Let's move on. Mr. Fair, the SPLC's
we condemn it always.
Latest hate map includes 20 hate and anti-government groups in my home state of Missouri. That list includes Gays Against Groomers. And your website seems to, your main beef with Gays Against Groomers seems to be that they oppose the chemical and surgical mutilation of children. But a few months ago, the American College of Plastic Surgeons updated their guidelines to no longer recommend transgender surgery on minors. Is the American College of Plastic Surgeons also a hate group? They oppose chemically and surgically mutilating minors. Is the American Society of Plastic Surgeons a hate group?
Again,
I know it sounds like an absurd question, but that's how absurd your hate map has gotten.
Our reporting on hate and extremism uses the statements, may I finish? Uses the statements and activities of various groups. And based on those statements, we expose and share with the public what they say.
It seems like one thing that many of the groups that you've labeled hate groups, that we've talked about this morning, have in common is that they oppose the chemical and surgical mutilation of minor children, as does the United Kingdom, as does Sweden, Finland, Norway, Denmark, and the United States Department of Health and Human Services. Are the 7 groups I just mentioned hate groups, the public health authorities in the UK and Finland and Denmark and so on, are those hate groups?
Congressman, we identify groups.
Okay, how about a group you've identified that just happens to have won 18 cases before the United States Supreme Court and been instrumental in 85 other cases, Alliance Defending Freedom? Are they a hate group? Are you going to double down on that today? ADF is a hate group, yes or no?
May I answer your question?
Yes or no?
ADF is listed because of statements it has made against
Okay,
persons.
you said that about other groups. Okay,
Well, you don't want me to respond,
again.
obviously.
Because of
you're
statements
cutting me
they
off.
made according to criteria that you couldn't clearly articulate to Congressman Fry. Okay, I'll ask you, Mr. Bangert. Mr. Bangert, why do you think the Alliance Defending Freedom, a group that's won 18 cases before the United States Supreme Court, is on this defamation machine's hate map?
Well, that's a great question, Congressman. I went and looked at their website this morning, and one of the reasons they give for ADF being listed is because, according to the SPLC, we support the state-sponsored mutilation of adults and children, basically rendering them sterile. The odd thing about that is, in the state of Alabama, we came alongside the Attorney General to defend a statute that would have prohibited medical professionals from performing procedures on children that would have sterilized them. And interestingly, on the other side of the V in that case, one of the law firms was the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Well, there you go. I think that's why you're a hate group. Thank you. I yield back.
A tense confrontation erupted on Capitol Hill when lawmakers questioned the leadership of the Southern Poverty Law Center, commonly known as the SPLC, over its controversial hate group designations and the broader consequences of political labeling in America. The hearing took a dramatic turn when a congressman pointed to an SPLC Hatewatch publication that had labeled Charlie Kirk and his organization as dangerous extremists. He then asked the SPLC CEO a direct and explosive question: whether the organization was willing to take any responsibility for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Rather than directly answering the question, the CEO repeatedly condemned political violence in general, insisting that violence is unacceptable regardless of political affiliation. That response did not satisfy the congressman, who pressed further. He argued that organizations should be held accountable for the impact of their public statements, especially when individuals cited by the SPLC later become targets of violence. The exchange quickly expanded beyond Charlie Kirk and into a broader debate about the SPLC's influence and credibility. Lawmakers then brought up the 2012 attack on the Family Research Council, noting that the gunman reportedly referenced the SPLC's hate group list. The question raised during the hearing was whether the SPLC bears any responsibility when individuals allegedly use its materials as inspiration for violent acts. The organization firmly rejected that suggestion and maintained that it neither promotes nor condones violence. The hearing became even more contentious when members of Congress challenged several groups that the SPLC has labeled as extremist or hateful. Among them were Turning Point USA, Gays Against Groomers, and Alliance Defending Freedom. Critics argued that some of these organizations hold mainstream political views and have participated in major legal battles, including cases before the Supreme Court. Supporters of the SPLC's work, however, argue that the group's classifications are based on public statements and documented activities rather than political ideology alone. At the heart of the debate was a larger question facing the country. Where is the line between identifying extremism and unfairly stigmatizing political opponents? Some lawmakers suggested that labels such as hate group can have serious real-world consequences, while defenders of the SPLC argue that monitoring and exposing extremist rhetoric is a vital part of protecting civil rights and public safety. As the hearing came to a close, neither side appeared willing to back down. What began as a question about Charlie Kirk evolved into a much broader argument about accountability, political rhetoric, free speech, and the role powerful organizations play in shaping public perception. Now the debate moves beyond the hearing room and into the public arena. Should organizations be held responsible for how their labels are used by others? Or does responsibility rest solely with those who commit violent acts? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more coverage of major congressional hearings and the biggest political clashes from Capitol Hill, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.